Madam's long-lost sister Toni is back, and it seems like she got beef with everybody. What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another All the Queens Men video. And in this one, we're going to talk about little Miss Toni and everybody that's standing up against her behind because they all got smoke for her disloyal. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn your bell notifications so you don't miss out on any of my All the Queens Men content and conversations. I'm dropping new videos every day, multiple times a day, actually. So you need to get into it and make sure that you keep it locked. Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this because I feel like Toni popping up was one of the best story choices that they could possibly give us. It gave new energy to the series. It gave additional intrigue. And this is an interesting way, a choice to introduce a new character with a heavy backstory. She started off by popping up on Amp. Amp don't want nothing to do with her, only has smoke for her, quote unquote, because her and her husband disowned him when he decided to kill his ex-girlfriend. I definitely got a video talking about should Amp forgive her, y'all, because there's more to unpack there, but I don't want to spend this whole video going down that particular rabbit hole, but we definitely gonna talk about it. Again, subscribe so you know when that video is up if it's not already up already, okay? So Amp got beef with her because you disowned me, you abandoned me, you turned your back on me in my time of most needs. So I don't put it past Amp to align with Madam at any given point. If Madam wants to try to make her sister's life hell, Amp is going to get on board and say, whatever you need, auntie, whatever you need, Madam. Now, what surprised me, because it didn't even really surprise me when she rolled up on Madam at Maddie B's, because Madam is not necessarily like family oriented in reference to her blood family. She feels a lot more like her found family, her friends who become family are way more important to her. Sorry, Aunt, but she tried to kill your ass, let's not forget, than the people who are actually her blood. What surprised me was that Carla also has smoke. When Madam reveals that Toni has come back, that Toni popped up, and she's like, okay, so what you want me to do with the body? Because I know you killed her. And she was fine with it. I was like, okay, Carla, because you and Madam are really on the same page. You and Madam stayed at each other's throats for the last 3 seasons. You are just now coming to a place of being okay. You are just now tolerating the fact that your sister got all this money and you still po. You are just now not talking about whooping Madam's ass every single time that you see her. So I was very surprised to know that she got beef with Toni as well. Now, when we hear why people have a problem with Toni, it's a little bit more understandable because Toni apparently is the reason why Cadillac, their dad, had to go into basically like this witness protection and then lying about his disability, lying about dementia so that he wouldn't wind up having to go to jail because she was the disloyal one who basically ratted on the father. And now she's back, quote unquote, with a will. Nobody knows if it's real or not, saying that he left her Maddie B's as a restaurant and some other stuff in the will. What's interesting to me is that Carla got beef with Toni because she was disloyal to their daddy. She got beef because her daddy supposedly left Toni this restaurant and didn't leave her nothing. But she also knows that her daddy not dead. But ma'am, if I do recall correctly, when we first met you, you had Cadillac sitting in his own feces and piss. Honey, yeah, we ain't forgot. Aunt was fresh out the clinker. Madam was fresh out of putting a gold gun to the mama of the daughter who Amp unalived. And you out at the damn outlets while Cadillac is faking dementia, sitting in his own bodily fluids and waste. But you side eyeing your sister Toni, who just snitched a little bit. I am not condoning snitching. I'm not going to give y'all fuel to come for me because y'all love to come for me. That is just very intriguing. You are wondering why Cadillac don't have you in his will, but you left that man to get God knows what on his behind, not taking care of him fully, so much so that Madam had to threaten you, go to court, blackmail a damn judge to get custody of him, guardianship of him, and take him out of your ill-fitted care. But you looking at Toni like, oh, I don't know. I'm looking at Carla sideways. I love her as a character, but Miss Mamas is hypocritical as hell. Now, it's 100% understandable why Madam has beef, because Cadillac is her heart. If there is a family member who she's going to ride for, who is the definition of family, it's her damn daddy. Them sisters, she could give a damn about. That nephew, he could go too if he gets too far out of line. But daddy, Cadillac could do whatever the hell he wants to do, and Madam got his back. Madam is going to listen. Carla is still breathing because Madam listens that much to what her daddy got to say. Now, I think the thing that's going to be very interesting is Madam going in on like this investigative space to, one, go on the offensive against Toni as she tries to acquire Maddie B's and push Madam out. We got to see her go to Miss Tandy and say that she wants the property right next door. Don't know what she wants to do with that, but she's definitely making strategic moves. But she's also being specific and strategic and not going straight up at Toni and trying to let it play out, trying to see what is actually going on. And I think she might wind up going to Cadillac like, yo, what the hell is this about? What do you mean you left her this? She did this, this, and this. And I do think that Cadillac might have a reason for why he left her something, not Carla, and now she's coming back. But you know, parents, it gets a little bit tricky. Parents sometimes will always, no matter what their kids do, unless you amps parents, I guess, will always have your kids back to a certain degree. Will always find a way to forgive them. So it looks like it's Toni versus Madam. It's Toni versus Carla. It's Toni versus Amp. But it might not be Toni versus Cadillac. And that is what's going to throw a fool into the plan of Madam of getting her out of here as quickly as she came in. Now, another thing I want to point out, and you guys can go and listen to my 30 plus new characters that we get to receive, or we got to see in this season when I predicted this and gave y'all the description breakdowns of the characters that they were looking for back in January of this year. I also have on ericmain.com all of the descriptions listed out so that you can read them. But there is a moment where Toni is going to have a lawyer look over the will, but it also talks about a Gene Marks, and it says the attorney for the late Gene Marks, he's a probate and estate specialist who takes a meeting with Toni, Gene's alleged grieving widow. So I'm guessing Amp's daddy died, so she also has inherited something from him as well. This description, because the lawyer's name is Joe LaMarche, it says Joe keeps his best poker face on as he examines the last will and testament of Toni that she produces, a document that Joe has never seen before. So I'm really interested to see how the rest of Toni's storyline plays out throughout the rest of this season. I just want to take this video to talk about all of Toni's ops and how her coming onto the scene and trying to make a splash, she's not going to be able to do so easily. Now, the one thing that would be very interesting is if the concierge gets wind of who she is, because we saw him come by Maddie B's to let Madam know that he wanted his damn drugs back, right? But once he puts two and two together, the new owner of Maddie B's is Madam's sister. Can she be used as another way in? Because we already saw Carla seasons ago trying to team up with him to go after her sister, because she was just like, yeah, she's too volatile, she ain't this and she ain't that. She was talking about doing you know what dirty acts and everything between that man's legs. Y'all remember? The concierge turned it down then, but he might not want to turn down another one of Cadillac's daughters this time. Who knows? Those are just thoughts. I would love to hear yours in the comment section down below. Did I get everybody that Toni is going up against? How do you think she's going to fare? Do you think that she got what it takes to go up against Madam? Do you think that she got what it takes to go up against Carla? Do you think Amp going to forgive her? Well, we're going to talk about that in that video. Actually, let's go watch that video right now. I'm going to put it for you on screen.